So what about social media?
I do not like it. I am not a fan.
Well, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, girl. Social media. This you in your bag with social media. You know, you social media is your
I
thing.
enjoy social media. It's so entertaining.
I enjoy it too.
Okay.
I'll use it. It's entertaining. But I just really don't like what it's doing to us as a community. Like I miss the days when we didn't have it. It should be a time limit. Like you can only get on social media a certain amount of hours
A day.
and then they just cut you off. Not your phone cut you off because you can set those on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
But then your phone, like, do you want more?
So you just think people use it too much?
I think it's used too much. I think it's changing the way we communicate.
For sure.
I think not just the kids. The kids, they can't even think past 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But even as an adult, we take everything back to social media. The communication, no one's really talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a fan of what it's done to us as a people.
Okay.
But I do like it. There are some things I do appreciate about it.
Like what?
Okay, so I like the creativity of it. Like I like the fact that I can see how people are creative. I mean, there's some people who do things on social media that I'm like, you need to be an actor. Because I watch them and I'm like, this is genius. The time that it takes for you to create this stuff is really good. So I do like to see that part. I do like that there's a lot of fun posts on there. So I laugh a lot on social media. And people just posting wild, crazy things that we would have never caught before. So it does make things funny. And like I like keeping up with people. So I do like it. I mean, what about you? What you like? Everything. I'm just kidding.
That's my favorite part, though. The part about being able to keep up with people.
Okay.
Like, long gone are the days. I will say I do miss. There was a time when you would, like, see somebody and you all would have to have a conversation and then you realize that person knows somebody that you know, and it would be this big thing like, oh my God, you know so-and-so. And now that's no longer a thing because, everyone's on social media and people by their screen names.
By their screen name or what they're posting.
Sometimes you don't even know someone's name in real life. You just know their Instagram handle.
That just happened to me. Respectfully, and if you watching this podcast, in Trader Joe's, and I walked in and she was like, oh my gosh, hi. And I was like, oh my gosh. Could not think of their name. I remember seeing their kids on social media. And then when we thought about it and we did communicate, I was like, how long has it been since we physically seen each other?
Mm-hmm.
Over 20 years. But I felt like I had just seen her post. Like I just physically seen her.
And I think that's like the good and bad of it. Yeah. I like that you can still see people and keep up with people that you wouldn't otherwise be able to interact with. But you're able to know that they're okay and their kids are growing beautifully. Like, absolutely. All of those things.
I agree. That part I do like.
Okay.
Should we get into well, before we get into the dislikes and take this off on a tangent, let's just talk about how it all started for us. Like,
okay.
So you're like, what do you recall being your first, I guess, social media? Like, what the first thing you did on social media?
I guess my first one was probably like a MySpace page.
I think it was. I remember being at Morgan on their computer in a computer lab.
On MySpace?
Yep.
Okay.
Trying to upload music.
Right, because you had to have
like a weird code. Like you had to copy and paste some computer code.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. Yep. I remember that.
So MySpace, and then I remember Facebook.
Okay.
But that was only for college students.
It was elite. Very, had to use your college.
Very elite.
Had to use your college email at first, right?
And then, what was after Facebook? Was it Instagram?
Instagram or Twitter. I never got into Twitter.
Okay.
I wanted to dig into this whole Black Twitter situation because there's a whole. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know it was the same. I'm on app like looking at Black Twitter. Where is the app for Black Twitter? I thought it was a whole
something totally separate
until I watched a documentary recently. And was like, oh my gosh, it was just like a thing,
a community of people.
So I never got into Twitter. I did Snapchat for the filters.
Okay.
Did you do Snapchat?
Yeah.
That was the first disappearance, right? That was the first time you could post something and disappear quickly.
Right. Okay. And then Instagram, because they've evolved so much. They've added so many features.
They took Snapchat's features, the Vine. Remember Vine?
That was only up for like 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you have TikTok?
I do.
Do you use it or how you use it?
Not as much as the other ones. Instagram is like my go-to. I feel
Go-to.
like Instagram is like our age groups.
Yeah. I use
Go-to.
Instagram, and then if I want my mom and dad to see it, I use Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use TikTok if I'm trying to find like something to do. Like if I'm
Okay.
like free stuff in Merlin. If you type that
Apparently,
in,
TikTok is like the new Google.
the new Google.
Yeah.
It is. And it gives you like examples and things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I will say, as far as social media goes, I think we've all had that experience. Like when social media got like up and running and everyone was a part of it. That first time you saw somebody that you knew well, that you knew personally, take on a whole new persona.
Whole different persona.
And so you're like, it's always that first phone call when you're like, I didn't know Jacob sold drugs. Like, what is it? He was at chess club with me. What is this?
What do you
I
mean?
had no
Yeah.
idea. Well, his post says that he remembers being on the corners,
Oh,
slinging rocks,
absolutely.
and it's like that is like I feel like everyone has like had that moment where you're
Oh, yeah.
like, oh my God, I didn't know that this person, and you realize like, wait, they're lying. Like,
Yeah, you try to
can
keep
create
up.
this persona
Yeah.
on social media
That you are or you aren't, right?
Mhm,
Like
that has taken
you know,
many forms down.
correct, and which can be scary, but I do understand why like companies go and look. But when they go and look,
What do you mean, like for potential?
Yeah,
okay,
you know,
Girl, you went
companies-
to a whole nother.
well, it's a different persona. Sometimes the companies go
Mm-hmm.
to look to see like what am I getting ready to get or hire.
Yeah.
But that person that they're seeing is actually not who I am as a business person. So it's scary for you to be able to take on a whole different persona. You know what I mean? But that's my thoughts on it. But to go back, TikTok, the kids use it completely different than what we use it. So even though it's Google, my nieces and my son will be over in a corner breakdancing, and I'm like, I'm using it for a completely different thing.
That's all they do is those TikTok dances.
Some of them cool. Sometimes I want to get into them, you know, but I can't because I can't do it. It looks really nice to do really quickly, but I can't get into it. So social media, right? Pet peeves. Let's talk about it.
Pet peeves on social media.
Pet peeves.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when, and I think they're both, so I think I have two,
Okay.
and they're both centered around birthdays.
Ooh.
When
Which
you
you
post,
do. Can I just tell the world how you do the most amazing? If you are Lillian's friend, she will post the most amazing birthday post, and to the point where if you don't get it, you kind of offended. If you have not received a birthday post,
I should really start a greeting card line.
you should. If you haven't received a birthday post, then you're not considered her core, and it's okay.
Wow.
Seriously, you make the best
Thank you.
birthday post.
I
No,
love
thank
to do
you.
birthday
Yeah.
posts. But you know what I don't like? When someone posts a birthday post for someone else and they only post good pictures of themselves.
Yes.
Like the person you're honoring is way in the back.
Way in the back, because you got to make sure she look cute,
Because
too.
you have to still be.
Yeah.
I always hate that. And I hate when husbands post birthday messages
Oh, boy.
for their wives, or boyfriends post it for their girlfriends, and the entire post is just coded language for like, I have given you a very hard time all year, and it's like, to my lady, you held everything down, you stood by me.
All
I know
this time.
I put you through some stuff.
I don't deserve your
I
love.
don't deserve you. You should have left
And
me
we
a long
had
time
no
ago.
idea.
You
We were like, what did he do?
this is pretty awful.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty
happy
awful.
birthday, my love.
I'm going to show you the world. That's okay.
Well, or you could just stop
or you
stressing
could just
me
stop
out.
stressing me out. Yes.
Yeah. What are yours?
Yeah. So I have a couple pet peeves, which one, and again, I'm going to use this disclaimer because if you do this, I still love you. This
Which
is
means
not
she's
me
about to
judging
offend
you.
half of our fan base.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
want to be offensive. I just want you to know that it annoys me. If you have a kid that cannot speak
Okay.
and you have created an Instagram for that kid, I want to have a conversation. DM me. Why? Because then now you're speaking for the kid, which makes you a little I don't want to be offensive. So when you speak for the kid, I just want to know what's actually happening. Why are you doing this? The post goes something like, today, went to the playground with mommy. We had a great time. The kid can't speak. You don't even know if
That's
they did.
so sweet.
It is kind of awkward and it's weird. That's one of my pet peeves.
Okay.
If you do it great, I guess the thought process is.
I guess Tasha just won't follow your toddler. That's
I won't.
basically what this boils down to.
I guess the thought process is when your kid gets older, you've already created
their page for
them, right? So maybe that's it. I'm curious as to why do you do that? Mm-hmm. Another pet peeve is our hospital posts. Like if you are in the hospital with someone and or if you even in the hospital yourself, that's another one. Like you're posting.
Gotta show the IV.
You gotta show the IV.
Gotta get those lights up.
You gotta get the lights up. You gotta take. And I'm like, this is a pretty serious moment. Yeah, like this is pretty serious, right? Like unless you're having a baby, even those don't get up until like after you've had the baby. Nobody's posting it while you're in the cesarean. Like, here I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that stuff is kind of like, you're taking this way too far.
Okay. You think some things are just a little bit too sacred.
Just a little too sacred.
But some people, social media is like,
everything.
It tries to be a very real reflection of their life. And so I guess they just want to show.
Yeah.
Step by step, moment by moment, what's happening in their life.
I guess for me, I just don't believe social media is a real world. And I think we have taken it to be like for more than what it is, right?
Okay.
When social media first started, in my thoughts, it was just us showing things that we are doing. We have taken it to the point where we're showing what we're eating today, how much we worked out today.
Well, they want to see my chicken. I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I don't. And I'm taking this. I've done this before. Like I've done it, and then I remember doing it. Like, why did I even?
So, what would be ideal for you on social media? Like, what is an ideal post, or what is the ideal purpose
for social media? I don't. That's a hard question. I could tell you what the ideal. I don't know. I just wanted to keep it in the box that it was in. It was created to have another level of communication, not be
the only communication.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, I haven't seen you. I want to talk to you. I want to chat. But then I also want to end up seeing you. So, let's go do lunch. I don't want it to take away from, like, the human interaction. And then also be so important that now we're comparing ourselves to stuff that's not really real. You know what I mean? Like, what can do to your mental health, right? Like, if you or someone, or if I get on social media and I see things that now it's changing my mood, changing my perspective, right? It put me in a weird spot. Like I seen a post the other day. It was like, if you are still plus size in 2024, this is not at this point. There's too many ways for you to lose weight. Like you got Ozempic and all this stuff, and it just sent me down a spiral. Like maybe they're right. And it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why? You got what I'm saying? Like, it puts a level of unnecessary mental stress.
Yeah.
But sometimes it could be stuff that you need to see, too, to get you where you're going. But it just puts a level of mental stress. And I just feel like sometimes as humans, we don't really understand how much stress is put on you until you're, like, now having panic attacks or whatever.
I think that's the beauty of being able to like manage and control what you see. You know what I mean? Like unfollow the people who aren't good for your mental health.
I just got told how to mute.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that because I thought when you unfollow, this again, I'm ancient. I thought the only way to remove someone was to unfollow them, and then they'll get a notification that
someone dings them. Hey,
Tasha just unfollowed you, right? Like someone really cares that much. But I didn't know you can mute them temporarily because sometimes you just don't want to see this stuff. So I have learned how to do that. I've learned how to manage it. Again, I don't hate social media. I do like it. There's just some things that I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But pet peeves. Let's go back though. I forgot one major one.
Okay, let me hear it.
Whew, I think we agree on this one. The new post that you all are posting where you say, I bet y'all skipped this one. It's like, show yourself with no makeup. I bet y'all skipped this one. Show you in Jamaica. I bet y'all skipped this one. What are you saying?
You know what? It annoys me because every time I see it, I'm like, what makes you think I haven't been to Mexico?
Yes. But then I do go and be like, all right, I haven't been this year. I'm gonna skip it, not because I can't afford it,
not because I can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's just
it's like but
I think that plays into like this always having to one up somebody. You know what I mean? Like I went, I bet you didn't.
I bet you didn't.
I bet you skip it. Yes. You know,
yeah. So. And the comments, but that's a whole other thing. The comments, sometimes I look at the post just for the comments. The comments are wild. I can just read comments and laugh so hard about certain things. But yes, whatever. Social media is just something I'm not a fan of, but I do appreciate it. I do think there's some things that we can gain and have gained from it. I wish there were time limits. I wish there were ways we can like fall back from it. Right?
Does your son have a social media?
He used to have TikTok.
Okay.
And then I took him off that.
Okay.
Super quick. Like, okay, no. The only thing he uses is YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And he watches YouTube shorts, but no. He asked me the other day for Instagram, and I asked him why.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my friends have one. No. I don't. You know what? I think, and I'll ask you, the age I think that kids should be able to have social media is at minimum 16.
16. Okay.
My son's 12.
Mm-hmm.
I think 16. Because all they doing anyway is they got fake. Apparently, there's fake. Like they have the real Instagram, and then that was another thing. I said, "What is a Finsta?"
A Finsta.
Yes,
I would say maybe 14 when 14. They are in high school, like 9th grade, like as a part of joining high school.
Do you have to follow them?
They have to let yeah, they have to let me. Yeah.
I mean, how do you control a Finsta? How does that even work?
Girl, these jokers, yeah, but. I should be aware of
sure.
all the social media pages. Now, if you are, because kids are sneaky, you never know. But I would want to. That would be a rule. Like I need to follow you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of Instagram rules, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Just to throw it out there, because some people do, some people don't, and I want your thoughts on it.
Okay.
When you end a relationship, whether it's with a friend or a guy, are you deleting the pictures
immediately?
I don't agree with that.
Really?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. And I don't know if it's me being biased because I've been in a relationship for a long time.
Okay.
But even taking that off the table, I have females that I don't even communicate with anymore that are still on my page. And I haven't deleted them. I just feel like, to my point of it not being a real world,
okay,
I think that if you go through your timeline, and I want your thoughts on it, but if you go through your timeline and delete stuff that really happened, what's the purpose of it? It's not really being real, right? Because that still occurred. Why, you know what I mean? Like, why would I? I'm interested.
Immediately. For me, I think it's a part of the closure process for me, especially because I'm on social media a lot. And so if I have ended this relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or it's a friendship, I no longer want to be reminded, especially if it's like hurt involved or whatever it is. Like I don't want to be reminded of this relationship. I don't necessarily see it as me trying to deny that time ever happened.
Okay.
I just want, and maybe this isn't fair, but I always want my social media to reflect my current life and my current state. And I feel like that is like how you almost like make the announcement without having to make the announcement. Like I'm no longer with this person. I'm no longer friends with this person. I'm no longer associated with this person.
Yeah.
I don't want them associated with me. Yeah. And so like having them on my page.
Right.
You know, to
it's
me
closure.
It's closure. That's like, that like closes the door.
Yeah. I didn't think about it that way. I think my thought process is the effort that it would take to go back that far.
Oh no, it's really easy.
But,
then.
But now that I see that it's closure, it makes sense. I don't think I would do it. I haven't done it. And again, like I said, I'm biased because I've been in a relationship for so long. I don't know if I would ever go back and delete like all of the stuff I posted of my husband if we were to, but I understand it's closure, right? So I guess if you're looking at someone's page, let's say that you were just out of curiosity, looking at somebody's page and they have their ex on there from like 5 years ago. Is that something that you bring up to the person that you're dating? Like if you're dating this person and they have their ex on,
I don't know if I would approach it as like, you need to delete her, but I would ask why is it still there? Yeah, because to your point of like how you can begin to compare, can you imagine like going on your boyfriend's page and you see him and his ex in Italy.
Yeah.
And him, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I feel like I would want to know why would, especially if it's a recent, well, 5 years ago. I mean, if that's the last relationship, but I would want to know, like, why do you still want that on your page? I mean, I've talked to women who maybe have like just met a guy, and I remember one girl like went to his page and he still had his ex up, and he was one of those guys who like didn't post a lot, so it was like it still may have been like 2 years ago, but it was like maybe the second or third picture, and so she was like, I wonder why he still has this up. Like, I need to ask him, you know what I mean? And so social media is supposed to be a reflection of your life, you know what I mean? And so yeah, as far as relationships and stuff go, immediately I get them off my page quick.
I think I would like to get our viewers' opinion on it, just in general, just to see, you know, maybe we can put a poll up.
Okay, to see if it's appropriate.
If it's
or not even appropriate.
What's
like,
your thoughts on it? Right?
Yeah.
Are you deleting someone after you broke up with them or after you are no longer their friend? I am not. Lillian is. So we'll get a poll put out just to get an idea of like what exactly. I want to know, why are you doing it? Or I know your answer is closure. Then maybe somebody else is different. So you can email us as well. Just let us know your thoughts on it. And then we'll put a poll out just to get an idea of like, are you deleting?
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what everyone says. I've always felt like people, I don't know anybody who leaves their exes up.
I see superstars do it all the time. But I guess I'm wondering, like, what if they don't? What if they don't delete you? Does that matter because it's their page?
No, I don't care what they do.
Obviously, if you're deleting them, clearly you're unfollowing them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, because if it's a reflection of your life, I guess my thought process on it, just to clear it up for those that are trying to figure out why would I ever keep someone up. If it's a because social media, in my opinion, is supposed to be, to your point, a reflection of your life.
The whole life.
The whole life.
Not just the highlights.
Exactly, not just the highlights. So if you scroll back and you can see, oh, in 2010, I was with this person. Now in 2024, I'm with this person. I don't think it's an offense. I don't think it's necessary. But to your point, which I didn't think of earlier, if you're someone that doesn't post a lot and you have a short window, that don't look good, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But at the same time, just because I think that social media isn't a real world, I also don't feel like you have to.
Okay.
But if you're doing it for closure, then it's your own internal reasons, not for other people.
Yeah. What is the funniest thing you've ever seen on social media?
I laugh at so many things on social media. I think one of the ones, and I'm gonna try to explain it as best as I can, and maybe we could find a clip of the video.
Okay.
But it was a husband and wife on the actual porch greeting their child. Like the child was coming back from somebody else's house, and you can't see the child, but you hear the lady like, "Hey," speaking. For some reason, I know you remember this one. The husband is coming out talking, and he ends up like tumbling to like, it's almost like, what were you doing? And first of all, why are you out here?
Why can't he come out there?
I was handling it. Now you out here tumbling across the grass. Got us looking like fools. Because he was playing with his flip flop. That's what happened.
I remember the video
with his flip flop,
and his wife turned around and she was like, "What are you doing? Like, what happened?"
That was probably one of the ones that I remember that was hilarious. And then there's another one where a guy was teaching his son how to drive.
Okay.
And the son was just not doing. It was the panic on the father's face. Like, what? And then looking at him like, what?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong? We're going to have to find those. Those are two of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. What about you?
Most recently, the guy on Wheel of Fortune who thought the answer was right in the butt. I watched that so many times, and every time I died laughing.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, and there's a black woman who was also a contestant, and she was like, "What? Like, are you crazy?"
Oh my god!
That one, a classic is the Andrew Caldwell "I Am Delivered" video. But there's an animation. I don't know how many people saw that. Like, when it first came out, somebody created this like animated version, of him up there. So that's probably one of my favorite. And then the news anchor.
Oh, the one where he start cursing?
Yes, when he starts out like, in this Augusta town. And then the fly, yeah. So that's my favorite.
Gosh,
yeah.
I feel like if I could think of more, there are a few people that I follow for content. Like when they are, some of my favorites to watch is when the person who's doing the content is acting like a parent.
Oh, okay.
Those ones are hilarious. I have a couple of those. But I mean, social media to me is like really fun. I hate it when it gets serious. I hate it when it gets like too serious. Like when people start talking about politics and religion and things like that. I'm not interested. But the fun part of it, I like.
Yeah, let's just keep it light.
Keep it light.
Yeah.
That's it. So what we doing? We laughing about social media today, or we crying?
I'm laughing.
Yeah, I have to laugh time.
Really?
I'm gonna laugh.
As much as you hate it.
I hate it. I'm laughing because it's a joke, but I laughed this week. I mean, seriously, I do enjoy social media.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So this week we're laughing.
We're laughing.